This show is brought to you by Whatever You Say Productions, starting conversations since 2018.
Hello, everyone. Welcome and welcome back to Game Over. No, it's not Sarah, not Ian, it's not Kirk, and it's not Steven, and it's not Ben. No, it's Samantha. Don't ask me how I somehow managed to thaw the icy heart of Ian, who is hosting this episode with me. Ian, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Sam?
Can you believe that you're letting me lead an episode? Did you ever think you'd see the day?
No, I'm actually I'm content with it because
Something nice.
I want to be led, and you do a very good job at doing this. So let's go.
Oh,
Episode
thanks,
5,
Sammy.
by the way.
You're
Which is
very
actually
sweet.
crazy.
It's not just the Sam and Ian show. Thank
No,
goodness
it's
gracious. We have Kirk here with us. Kirk, how are you?
I'm great. Our fearless leader climbing out of her hole to lead an
Oh,
episode.
I know.
Good D.
That episode last week, Kirk, I have to say, you and Sarah did such a great job together, and I can't thank you enough for being so welcoming to her. I just think that the two of you, God, it was a great show. I've listened to it like 6 times.
She was fun. She was fantastic. She's just this closet gamer that's just got all this knowledge and just sitting there, and she was
know.
great.
She's good people. But all right, so we have a lot that we need to discuss today. So we're going to get into it. We're going to start out with patch notes. We're going to be talking a little bit about how AI is creeping into a section of the gaming world that it hasn't really touched yet. And people, myself included, have sort of mixed feelings about it. Then we're going to be talking about BlizzCon, which if you want to go, it's going to cost you the same as like a mortgage and like 10 bars of gold. And then we're going to go into screen time where we're going to talk about the Sonic movie, which I don't know about you guys. I didn't even know that they were making a Sonic movie. It was a total surprise.
I was aware, and then I was very
okay.
let down so we'll get into it.
We'll get into it. And then, of course, we're going to end the episode with Free For All. So join us. Let's talk about it. Patch notes. So here we are in 2019, and a joke that everyone is making is that robots are taking over the world thanks to AI. Now, I know, Ian, if you and I hear the word AI one more time, we're going to jump off a bridge. Like, it's just, here's the thing. It's what puts food on your table, and I know that you're proud of it, but for God's sake, AI started really what? It was like a buzzword in 2013, 2014. Then
Exactly.
all of a sudden, everyone was like, oh, we have AI. When really, they didn't. It was just a freaking algorithm. Calm down. It's not learning. It's just programmed to do one thing. So now, here we are in 2019. No one even wants to hear artificial intelligence anymore. They're like, nope, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, it's fake, get it away from me. But now AI has found its way into the gaming industry. And I want to talk about this because I feel some type of way. So basically, individual people are dumping thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into using artificial intelligence to recreate classic video games. Ian, as a man of strict habit and ritual, who hates surprises more than probably anything else in the world, how are you feeling about all these people that are messing with classics?
I personally think it's really cool, if you will. I mean, I think what they're doing is really interesting. Individual people are spending upwards of 200 hours to recreate these old school games like Doom, Half-Life 2, Metroid Prime, Final Fantasy, and even Grand Theft, like Vice City too, as well. So what they're doing is they're spending 200 hours of their own time to update these graphics to be a little bit more visually appealing. But a lot of times what's not discussed in this article is the big name companies. Could you imagine after spending 100 or 199 hours on a game to recreate it, to update its graphics, to the company itself coming down and saying, nope, you're done. Stop.
Can't do it.
Can't do
Knock it off.
That's happened. Also, it's not in this article that I sent you guys, but that's happened.
Well, wait, but why is that happening? Is it just because they're like, well, we didn't hire you to do this. Ergo, if you're hoping that we're going to pay you for the work you've done, the answer is no. Why do you think some of these
think
companies are having that reaction?
I think it's because one of those. It's more of like a prideful thing. It's whereas like I know what you're doing is great,
Yeah.
but that's our game and that's ours, and we didn't do it, and we're not going to allow username 123 from Reddit to recreate our game and make it look better. Thanks for 199 hours, but stop. And if you do anything more than that, we're going to take legal action. So.
Oh my God.
So I mean, that's crazy.
You got to think about it too, though. I think a lot of it is them saying like, well, shit, if people start picking up on this and really enjoying it, like it might not have the commercial appeal that we were going for. So they're kind of like undercutting like what they did, and if there's no commercial appeal for these companies to do it, then they're not gonna like. It's just a waste of time in their eyes, but in our eyes, it's like cool.
I'm gonna throw this right at you, Kirk, because I don't know Doom. Who's the creator of Doom? Like,
ooh,
right now, is it Unreal?
I think Unreal Engines. I think it's Unreal Engines. Yeah.
Like I was thinking, because you make a good point, because it's like people whoever the original developer of Doom is, that was years ago when they created this game. They're obviously focusing on new games that they're creating. If it's Unreal, that's Epic. So it's Fortnite and all that kind of stuff. So don't quote me on that if that's the truth. But again, like when there's some random Reddit user recreating their old school game that they're not even thinking about anymore, it's like, oh shit, no, like we don't have time to fall back on Doom that we created in 1990, whatever. So
Kirk, I have a question for you as a man who is paid bazillions of dollars to come up with these powerful strategies
that
drive forward the Fortune 500. Don't be modest, my dear. I know exactly what you're made of. Can we talk about this a little bit from a business standpoint? Because I almost wonder if this would have some sort of a disrupting effect on the gaming industry, because a lot of times if there was sort of a commercial appeal to this and people were coming forward and saying, hey, it would be great if you could redo this, if these companies can't keep up with that demand at scale internally, that then in essence creates a whole category of freelancers and even smaller agencies to come in and redesign. Do you think that that's a thought as well? And if so, do you think that would be like, one more supplier we have to pay, one more outsourcing cost, get away from me? Do you think people would take it that far?
Yeah, I mean, I always kind of go off the deep end with it, and being a gamer and like
this is why we get along.
but being a gamer and being somebody that kind of, now I guess it's cool to say that I work in the industry, I kind of have like the devil and like the angel on my shoulder, because if you think about these AI learning algorithms, for example, like Madden comes out every year with the game. Football doesn't change that much every year, but the graphics get increased and they keep getting better and better and better. Mm-hmm. There's like small tweaks and things that they do here and there, but it's arguably been the same game for like probably 10 years.
No, I would put my foot down and say it's the exact same game, but you hit it. It's the graphics. That's why you pay the $60-$70.
Because the thing that I find interesting about it is the algorithm that is learning from this is just making sharper polygons and adding more pixels to the rendering. And if they can just keep doing this year over year, they don't really have that commercial appeal to be putting out Madden 20 and Madden 21 and NHL, NBA 2K. If they're just going to have these learning systems that are just doing exactly what they're spending their time on, like fixing.
So it's how can I say this? So part of the appeal of going out and buying a new version of a game is looking forward to some sharper graphics, maybe a larger map, different skins and things like that. But what I'm picking up from you is that while you can respect the work and you think that it's great to have sharper images, it's almost setting the game so far ahead of itself that it's sort of like reaching the peak and then having nowhere to go. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, if I'm thinking about it from a business perspective, if they're able to advance these learning systems so that they can put out these games, with, I imagine 200 hours worth of work is probably low. It might be a little bit more, but significantly less than what they're doing to make a new, franchise game each year. It's going to be completely damaging to their business.
Yeah. Well, I think this will be an interesting thing for us to watch, because whether we like it or not, whether these companies like it or not, AI and machine learning and technology is not going anywhere. And so I will be very interested to see which video game developer is going to flip first and say, you know what, screw it. This is actually a good idea. Let's bring these guys on. It's a group of 5 guys. Let's bring them in and let's make it happen. So, all right, now I want to talk about BlizzCon because
BlizzCon.
when you guys told me how much they are charging for tickets, I almost dropped my phone. So, Ian, why don't you tell us what is BlizzCon for those of you who may not know what it is?
Well, basically what BlizzCon is, it's the developer Blizzard games. And the whole thing with Blizzard is Warcraft series essentially right now. And of course, Overwatch as well is one of their big games. So they just released about a week ago that BlizzCon 2019 is going to be November 1st to the 2nd at the Anaheim Convention Center. And Sam, you did nail it. Tickets are ranging from $200 to $750 to see Blizzard. Basically, I mean, I'm going to be very biased because I still don't know. Actually, he's not on the show right now, but Byrne was saying that BlizzCon, everyone was saying, like, if you go to BlizzCon, it's blah, 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 blah. But if you're going to miss one, you can't miss BlizzCon 2019.
But why?
That's
why is this one
great question,
different than
Sam.
the other?
I don't know.
Hype.
I think, like, obviously we have WoW Classics coming out, but what?
But that's what we were saying off this podcast. We were like, you can't. They were saying you can't miss BlizzCon 19, WoW Classic, but that's going to be out before BlizzCon.
Yeah,
so they
that's
got
what I
something else
thought.
up their sleeve.
Yeah, so what is? That's what I don't know. Like, I was trying to look.
If even I know that it's going to come out before BlizzCon, like that's not a good look.
Did they just break away from Activision, or was that the whole thing? If I was my Business Insider reading was correct, because I know it was Blizzard, Activision was part. I think they might have broke up, but the whole thing.
Still, if they're not releasing any little teasers as to why this is the one to not miss, then you couldn't pay me to pay $750 for a ticket. First of all, we live in what, Ian?
The thing is, we're talking about it though. As a marketer myself, I think we're falling for the exact thing. We're hyping up some.
We're hyping it up, but we're not going to go. Ian, are you going to go? Are you going to hop on a plane?
No, I'm not going to go. But I will say, I mean, if I'm hearing that it's the BlizzCon not to miss, the feelers are out. Like, what are they going to say? Because I'm a huge Blizzard fan because I drank the WoW juice long time ago. But
I don't know.
I think it's
Kirk, let me ask
just
you.
Word of mouth.
If you were to say to yourself, no, I'm not going to BlizzCon, and you were sitting on your couch and suddenly your phone goes bing bong and you open it up and it's all these people posting all over Instagram that they announced this crazy new game and whatever, like, would you have FOMO or would you just be like, oh, dope, and then jump online and look it up yourself?
I mean, I personally wouldn't really be like that bummed because I'm probably going to watch the live stream anyway. I think what they're trying to do is like the convention center, I can't imagine holds more than like 5,000 or 10,000 people. So there's like a finite amount of tickets they're going to sell. It's a global company. Like, they're going to sell out. It's not going to be a big deal. What I think they want is to get all these other people like talking about it, get their eyeballs on it, doing exactly what we're doing. And that's kind of why they're making it like this be all end all of BlizzCons.
Yeah, that's I mean, very true too. What they most likely, as you said, like, the convention center can only hold a finite amount of people, but they want those reporters, they want those publications in there writing about what just happened with.
Does this ticket include a hotel room and meals?
Nope, you can just walk right into Anaheim Convention Center for $200 at least.
Is it just
probably pay like $18
for
like a soda? Or like $20 for a beer too.
2 days.
It's 2 days.
It's 2 days?
Yep.
Oh my God, Kirk.
No, but the whole thing, like, too, with the tickets at the Anaheim Convention Center, $200 the cheapest, $750 the largest. But like the whole thing, like, again, from being from New Jersey, I know going to like MSG or the Garden, like, you get in, the food alone is like, you want a burger, that's $15. You want a beer, that's $20 on top of a $200 ticket. At least you're already paid. So
okay, wait, are the tickets being offered at like tier price? Oh, pay $200 and you can go in this. Okay, so then what are you getting for the $750? And don't tell me that it's this high, because apparently this year they're going to be giving away a special collectible statue to people who are going.
Like, everybody's getting that.
I know
it's
that, but what does the $750 give you?
You get like the $750 they say is the BlizzCon benefit dinner pass you get with it. So like you get to these like events that typically the other plebs won't be able to attend. So like you have access to these little events from Blizzard and BlizzCon that most people can't attend, and that's why you're paying
like
the
a
extra.
cocktail reception with the designers?
I mean,
Look, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I just want to understand what I'm getting for $750, which is more than I spent on groceries a month.
The other thing too is, and I think you'll appreciate this, is that they do a lot of like digital in-game stuff that you get, a lot of bing bong, and it's
Kirk, you got my number.
I got it there, and it's specific to the attendees, and there's a finite amount of people that get those, and you see somebody like in World of Warcraft, remember mounts? Yeah. We talked about mounts in World of Warcraft, like riding around on the exclusive BlizzCon 2019 mount. You're like, ooh, he's so sexy.
Yeah,
oh my god.
No, but it's funny, Kirk. I'm reading it right now. It's apparently if you pay the top tier price, you get access to the Darkmoon Faire event that's happening on Thursday.
Help me.
Sam has no idea what that is, but Kirk knows the Darkmoon Faire.
What is it? Tell me what it is. I'm scared.
Kirk, give her a high level overview of the Darkmoon Faire.
So the Darkmoon Faire is an event that happens once per month in World of Warcraft. It's the first week of the month. These people pop up in capital cities in the game, and they sell exclusive things, and you can't buy them with the gold that you get. You have to use this currency called Darkmoon Faire tickets, and you get those from doing like different events or going to different spots in the world. But
this is virtual.
It's all virtual.
Okay, I thought for a second that like someone was popping up in like, I don't know, like Bangor, Maine.
You bring up a good point, though, Sam. Honestly,
like bars of gold.
Because it's funny hearing Kirk explain it. Literally, what they're doing virtually in the game is kind of what they're doing in reality with BlizzCon. It's like these people are paying the extra money to get those Darkmoon Faire tickets, to get the exclusivity. Like they're gonna get like mounts. They're gonna get they're giving away Alliance or Horde little figurines. That it's basically like you're paying the extra money to be able to go back into your WoW world and be like, hey, I got this mount, I got this name, I got this.
Oh, so sort of like what I do in Fortnite.
Yeah.
When you're like, Sam, I was playing with Ian last night, and he goes, where'd you get that backpack? I said, I earned it. He goes, how? I said, because I won. He goes, with who? But I got it from the game that I won with you.
Yep, that's the whole thing. It's the whole thing like we bring up. Like, we can go down the whole rabbit hole. It's why these free games, like Fortnite is a free game. World of Warcraft's not a free game. Like you pay per month, but like you pay the money to be different, to be able to go on, like to play this game, to look different in Fortnite, or to have that mountain WoW, or everything, like to be different, be like, oh shit, like this guy went to BlizzCon 2019, he's got the mount. There's no
for only from that. Okay, all right.
There's no way that I can get it because I didn't go.
Well, so look, it's kind of like when people go to Disney World, or when people go to this, that, or the other. It's sort of like a rite of passage. Like, you know, every little girl that goes down to the Bahamas for vacation, every little white girl comes back with cornrows.
Shout out Breezes, Kirk.
Who is our buddy?
Bullet.
I guess I can kind of see the appeal, and I guess if you are sort of local to the area, then yeah, sure. Like, I'm not trying to be negative. I want everyone to have fun. I think it's great for people who have common interests to get together. I personally would not pay 750 tickets, so I'm just going to state this for the record right now. In 3 years, when BlizzCon is calling Game Over to come to their event and talk about the gameplay and talk about the podcast, and I am standing off to the side somewhere with my arms folded, I will eat my words, because you know what? I bet that event is going to be a hell of a time. I bet there's going to be a lot of really cool creative people there, and I think it's going to be good vibes. But until we are a featured guest, and you know, there is a hotel room and unlimited cheeseburgers in my rider, like, I'm going to need a little bit more than that.
I'll agree with that. Yeah. Again, we're all East Coasters too. I mean, if we're on top of that ticket price, we're flying all the way to California. I want to be flown private Blizzard. And what was that saying? We were giving them to at least 2022.
Yeah.
Fly us private. Give us a hotel room for everybody. And I'll go with unlimited burgers.
For everyone. Will you
with
sleep in the
cheese,
hot tub?
please. cheeseburgers. I prefer the cheese now for some reason, but yeah, it's crazy.
I'll share a room with you guys if they fly us out there. I'd be down for that.
That's cute.
All right.
I'll take the bed. You guys can sleep on the floor.
We'll get the cops.
Wait, one last thing though. I wanna throw. We've been betting a lot on here. March Madness ended a month or so ago, and I've really been needing to itch that betting scratch. No,
are you bringing in an It's Bro Time segment to Game Over?
Scratch that betting itch.
Go for it.
I want to throw out guesses, and this is of what we're going to see announced there. So I got an idea and of what I think they're going to announce there.
Okay.
I hope I'm right. I don't know if I'm right, but I think they're going to do, and I kind of joked about this, I think they're going to do something World of StarCrafty. Maybe not to that level, but I think they're going to do something. They're going to bring something out of the woodwork with StarCraft, because that one's been kind of silent for the last couple of years. Any guesses for something?
It's actually funny because I remember you did text us that World of StarCraft, but I did think you were joking. StarCraft, the original StarCraft Brood War, was huge, but that was years ago. Now StarCraft 2 was kind of big, but it's very big like in Asia and all those kind of countries. It wasn't huge in the United States, and StarCraft,
not that
the
huge
franchise, has essentially been doing nothing for the past couple of years, like several years. Blizzard's main focus primarily has been the Warcraft series, obviously, and then of course Overwatch. So I was going to say, I agree. World of StarCraft, if I were to bet again, because now money's involved, I think there's going to be a major announcement about Overwatch, because I feel like there's going to be some sort of update or maybe an Overwatch 2 or something, because I know I've been reading a lot about like the competitive scene of Overwatch is crazy. So it's a big moneymaker with them too. So if BlizzCon 2019 is a don't miss, I think it needs to be a significant announcement, something about Overwatch.
We hope for something with Overwatch. I'd be okay with that. Sam, do you want to put a guess down here? Do you have enough knowledge of Blizzard games?
Well, I really don't. I'm not a gamer, and I tell people this all the time when I'm playing Fortnite. They're like, "Oh, are you new?" I'm like, "Yes, 100%." I don't know if I ever said this on the air, but I'll never forget. I was playing some sort of like Wizards and Warlocks game way back in the early 90s, and for 20 minutes I was like killing it. And I turned to Paige, who co-hosts Dicks and Politics with me, and we were playing with her brother. I said, "Paige, I am so good at this. Look at this. I'm already at the top of the mountain." She goes, "You're not the wizard. You're the topless guy that's been running into a tree for the past 20 minutes."
That's a classic moment.
Yeah, like this is not my world. But just knowing a little bit about World of StarCraft, I think that it would be incredible if they did something to really revitalize that game, and in a big way. I think that it's very on brand with the movies that we're falling in love with now, and the conversations that we're having about, the universe and sort of where the world is going. So that kind of an escape to a world that's intergalactic in nature, I think would be a very, very wise move. And if that's the case, I might want to play. So
play it.
I don't know which one of you is going to play with me and teach me how to play. It's definitely not going to be Ian, so it's either going to be Kirk or Steve. But no, I'm interested to see what happens. And look, to all of you who are going to BlizzCon, we hope that you guys have a fantastic time. Tag us and stuff, slide into our DMs, let us know how it's going. And seriously, if anyone right now is listening and goes to BlizzCon and you want to come on our show to talk about your experience, we'd be tickled to have you. So seriously, DM us, email us, whatever you need to do. Boys, we need to talk about the Sonic movie. So let's get right into our next segment, Screen Time. So
this is going good, I feel.
Solid one, yeah.
Because I'm good.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, this is good. I don't like reading. I'm leading, sorry.
You don't like reading either, I know. All right. Now, Ian, I love how I can always count on you to hype yourself up a little bit. And I love how I make a statement that I had no idea that they were even doing a Sonic movie, and you had to come swing it in with, "Well, I knew." So fine, Mr. Know-It-All. When did you find out that this was going to be a film? Did you know who the cast was going to be? Was there anything about it that surprised you? And then how do you feel about it now?
Well, the reason why I knew it was coming out is because I love the show Parks and Recreation, and there's a character named John Ralphio who is the worst. But anyway, his name is Ben Schwartz, and I follow him on Instagram, and he's the voice of Sonic in the movie. So that's how I knew about it a couple months ago. And to be honest, when I heard him saying it, it's like, oh god, like another one of these guys. But yeah.
But now that it's out, what do you think of the? I know that they released the poster. Have they released the trailer yet?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. They released the trailer.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you think?
It was good, but no, Sonic does not look like the Sonic that you played in Sega. And basically, that was the general consensus of everybody online. They destroyed it. But the whole thing is, the big thing is, what is so incredible. The director of the movie, he took to Twitter and he said, we're going to quote. He says, "Thank you for the support and the criticism. The message is loud and clear. You aren't happy with the design and you want changes." So that it's going to happen. Everyone at Paramount and SEGA are fully committed to making this character the best he can be.
Look,
which is incredible because he looked like the Sonic in this movie looks terrible.
He looked like a crackhead.
Yes.
And I want to circle this back around to what we were talking about in the beginning with all those people that are redoing these classic games.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you guys are excited about it. I love and adore you. I personally am not. Would I like to have a little bit of a clearer picture whilst playing Oregon Trail? Because I'm not sure if the buffalo is dead or just sleeping. Yes. But Adriana and I were going online last night to play Oregon Trail. And I thought,
as you do in 2019,
as you do on
Just a typical Friday night.
As I was going to say, on a Friday night, our lives are so exciting.
Actually, hang in on Oregon Trail, but
here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? So as we're waiting for it to load up, I thought to myself, do they have an app? I went into the App Store, and sure enough, they do have it in there, but it looks modern and it's completely different from the classic. And I'm like, no, get it away from me. So that's how I feel about the whole AI bing bong, but whatever. Anyways, back to Sonic. So, Kirk, if they're going to change the way that Sonic looks, like, how long do they have to do it? And what changes would you most like to see?
He is too much of a straddling line between a cartoon character and a human. He's like kind of a human looking thing, but kind of a cartoon character. Like they need to I think just make him a cartoon. He's a cartoon. He's this goofy looking, giant-eyed, spiky-haired hedgehog, and they need to make him look like that. Somebody did, and again, we're talking about individuals spending their time and putting their input into it. Somebody did a rendering of what they feel like the character should look like, and I think they did it in a couple of hours, and it looks great. It's exactly what I wanted him to look like.
Yep.
That's what they need to do. They need to make him look like a cartoon, but I'm pretty excited about this movie. I didn't know that Ben Schwartz was going to be the voice of it, but I love that actor, and I can't believe you didn't mention your favorite actor playing
that's the thing.
The villain.
Yeah.
Timothy Carey.
Yeah, I feel he is. Dumb and Dumber is the best movie of all time. I will take that to the grave. But yeah, no, that was crazy. That I will say, going back to what Sam said, I was making fun of her for not knowing about it. I did not know that Jim Carrey was in it. So that surprised me.
Oh, good. Oh, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, please bear witness. There is something that Ian did not know.
I did not know that.
What a moment in history.
Until the trailer came out. I didn't know that he was even going to be in the movie. But
how did you guys feel about the way Pikachu looked in the Pikachu Detective?
I think it looks perfect because he looks like he looks
like Pikachu.
Yeah, he's not like a Pika human looking guy.
Right. And on top of that movie, which I absolutely want to go see that as well. But similarly to that, they don't like Sonic is one character they had to make. In this Pokemon movie, they made like I don't know, like 50.
A bunch. I think the people who were upset with like Mr. Mime or something looked a little bit too realistic, but that's what he looks like. But yeah. That's the whole thing too. But what's interesting about Sonic and how like the internet basically controlled them, they're going to change what he looks like, is you can arguably say like Sega, their mainstay, if you think Sega, you think Sonic, right? I mean, am I wrong?
Absolutely.
Like
totally.
So the whole, I don't even know like what happened with Sega and Sega Genesis or who's a main company on that, but it's just, this is their mainstay. And like, if people don't like it, obviously reacting to the trailer that way, you have to change it.
Yeah,
And
this is one thing you've got to get right.
Yeah, you have to do it right. And that's so nuts because you brought it up too, Kirk. It's like some random dude on Reddit redid the Sonic his own way after a couple hours, and he did it like a million times better than what they did. So it's smart move.
Hopefully they do get it right. It's tough though, because we all sort of work in the industry of pleasing your clients and listening to your customers and finding that happy balance between the two. I hope that this 2.0 version will, for the most part, satisfy the masses, because they can't keep going back and redoing it. You're never going to please everyone. Now, Ian, we will not give away any secrets, but Kirk, you saw Endgame.
I saw Endgame.
Scale from 1 to 10. 1 to 10. Scale from 1 to 10. Where are you at?
I will put it at a 9.2.
Okay.
I think.
What's that 0.8% for you then?
So there were a couple of tiny, subtle things, and I'm not going to give anything away.
We're not giving anything away.
There was just a couple of little things that I was a little bothered by. It was very, very minor, and I'm being very critical because the Infinity War was, I think, one of the best movies I've seen in a very long time. And this is coming from somebody who saw it for the first time 3 weeks ago. But it just satisfied everything that I was hoping for, minus like 2 things.
Yeah, I think so. There was one part of it that Steve really struggled with, because it's just not the way his brain works. And he's like, but wait, for those of you who don't know what I'm referring to, I have a podcast called Dicks and Politics, which is where Game Over started. And I had Steve from this show come on that show with me and do a review. So yeah, there was one element that Steve could not, for the life of him, wrap his head around. So I tried to explain it to him, but he still wasn't satisfied. There was only really one thing that was a little bit off for me, and it was at the very end of the movie. And I kind of was sitting in the theater, and I was so overwhelmed and thrilled by the film at that point that it almost didn't matter. But now that it's been a week and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, you know what? I think they probably could have done without. But it's very, very minor.
Yeah.
It's in the last scene.
Okay. So I know
one
what you're
of the last
talking
scenes.
about.
And I was just kind of like, because and again, without giving anything away, here's my thing, is that Ian, you don't have to take your headphones off. Look at him.
Vehemently opposed to it. He doesn't want to hear. We could say anything right now, but we're not going to.
No, because Adriana's listening in on this too, so she doesn't want the surprise for her.
Right.
But here's the thing is, and this is why I've always been so careful about this show as well. People get used to certain people, and whenever you bring something new into the mix, it can turn a lot of people off. I think that this moment was very brief. So again, this is me being picky. Not a big deal. But I had to go back and ask Steve, what the heck was that all about? And he said, I didn't know either. So I just Googled it, and here's what it was. And I'm like, why? But other than that, great film. I give it a solid 10 out of 10. I have never been so exhilarated in my life. When I went, I got sandwiched in between these 5 dads and their 12 sons. So
and that's why I'm not going
the
yet.
Ages of 8 and 50. I mean, towards the pinnacle of the movie, like, they're screaming, I'm screaming, we're all crying. I'm like hanging off of one of the dads as we cry together. He was a total stranger, but whatever.
His wife obviously was not there.
No, his wife was not there. But
that was the movie, honey.
Film. Really, really great film. So, all right, guys, let's wrap this up. Let's get into it.
I think the Sonic movie looks great.
What?
It's a
terrible take.
with legs.
I think the biggest thing are the eyes and the teeth.
Wait for the segment.
Oh, sorry.
Ian, my dear, we spent last night together. It was an incredible 3 hours with you on Fortnite. Ian, have I gotten better as a mobile Fortnite player?
No, you're not. You're a good team player. I will give you that. A very good team player. But I think you need to stop being too nice and stop giving up your mats for everybody and just use it for yourself.
Why?
'Cause you got to learn. You got to learn.
Dude, but remember I built
I know
last
Kirk
night?
hates building. Building
Kirk,
is the
you
worst.
were
I will
so
say it
funny.
as
Wait. What did
somebody-
Kirk say? Didn't he say he's like, I have no interest in spinning around in a circle
Not
and building
spinning
above
in a
myself?
circle, building a stupid ass tower to stop people from shooting at me. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna climb up this tower.
As a huge fanboy of Fortnite, but you're correct. Yeah, that's the whole thing. And the whole
Well-
build yourself in a circle, it sucks. But I agree with you too.
You didn't give me a chance because I really wanted to show you this new skill I learned where you build a ramp. Okay, you ready? So you build a ramp and then you scuttle up to the top and you build a wall, but you build it down so that way, if someone shoots you down, it breaks your fall a little bit so you don't go straight down. It takes a little bit longer.
You're correct. That is.
I know, but you didn't give me a chance. I kept coming up to Ian last night and I'm like,
pro
here's
tip.
some metal, here's some stone. And he's like, stop giving me stuff. I'm like, okay, would you like my gun? Stop it. So
The
I'm
whole
just trying to
thing
be nice. You don't want me to be nice.
Building
so-
sucks, but you just gotta do it.
I know.
Get over.
I
Or
know.
don't play it like as Kirk chooses.
I would rather play League of Legends, and that is saying a lot.
That is a bold statement. And actually, that hit close to home. Wow. I got to wonder Fortnite with you.
I'm sorry, man. I can't get into it. I just
All
don't.
right.
I don't
Kirk,
like
you
the
play
building.
with me though.
No, I won't play with.
Why?
I wouldn't play with Obama.
Obama.
I hate it. It's just I just don't like it. Also, I'm kind of trying to I'm actually trying to turn over a new leaf with gaming and stay a little bit away from online competitive games because I get a little too competitive and because I don't play as much as I used to, I get mad. And when I get mad, I get mad.
He gets mad. Oh boy.
So I've been trying to stick to the campaign style game. So I actually I've been playing Doom right now. That's been fun.
Throwing it back to the AI rendering game. Yeah, Doom.
Yeah. It's been the 2000 whatever.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah, it's been cool. It's been fun. And I think next on deck is The Witcher because I hear that's kind of a good game.
Well, that's what Byrne plays, right?
Yeah, he loves it.
Okay, all right.
A lot because I was thinking like the whole segment of screen time. I was always thinking like, there's not enough games that we can talk about that turned into movies, and you just know like I think The Witcher now is coming out on Netflix, and I think Doom was a movie too, right? Wasn't The Rock in it or Dwayne Johnson?
Yeah.
Or something? Yeah. Doom was a shitty-ass movie. So yeah, there's a lot of screen time coming up. We just talked about Sonic right now, and of course we passed up on Ryan Reynolds, the man being Pikachu. So actually, screen time will be a good segment. But
Ryan Reynolds, who cheated on Blake Lively, and now she's pregnant. Yeah, we'll bring a little bit of hashtag from Dicks and Politics.
Get out of here! That's not.
Yeah.
This is breaking news to me. I love Ryan Reynolds.
I know.
No way.
But here's the thing that people always forget. Like, he was with Alanis Morissette, cheated on her with Scarlett Johansson. He was with Scarlett Johansson, cheated on her with Blake Lively. So this is just what he does. And now she's pregnant. Of course, they haven't released a statement, and the story is sort of fizzling out. But I believe it 100%.
I didn't hear anything. I love Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Pikachu is a cheater.
Yeah. Well.
I'm a huge Ryan Reynolds fan.
I love him.
Speaking of love, though, speaking of love and marriage and all these different things, Kirk, when are you getting married?
November 2nd. I got 6 months.
Can we expect any sort of gaming elements to be woven into your wedding, or has your fiance put the kibosh on that?
I am really, really trying to get this, and I'll post it on Instagram. This cake topper that's like a groom playing video games and the bride dragging him away.
Yes. Well, you know what, Kirk? If you went to BlizzCon, you could get that special limited edition figurine and put that on top of your cake.
Now that you said it, nope, we're not going to BlizzCon because BlizzCon's November 1st and 2nd.
Oh,
November 2nd. I have, it's already on my calendar.
I'm going to stand up next to me at the Huppa.
Yeah, there you go. I can't wait. It's going to be my first one. I'm going to lift you up on a chair. Mazel tov.
It's going to be beautiful. And break some glass and
my
family to yours.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, boys, thank you very much for letting me join you for this episode. Really appreciate it. I want so badly to be a part of Game Over. But this is your show. It is not mine. So I'll love you and I'll leave you. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Game Over. As you can't already tell, the guys are just tickled to be doing this. We're having a lot of fun. You can follow us on Instagram at game.over.podcast, and you can learn more at gameoverthepodcast.com. I am the boys' producer. My name is Samantha.
My name is Ian, and you can follow me on Instagram at Ian from Game Over.
My name is Kirk Paul, and you can follow me at Kirk from Game Over, no Paul.
Yeah.
No,
Kirk
no
Paul was taken. That's the whole thing.
Kirk Paul was taken. It was a shame. Broke my heart.
You couldn't confuse anybody else.
So.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. The guys will see you next Thursday. I'll be in the background. I'll be in my hole.
Deuces.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to Game Over. Brought to you by Whatever You Say Productions, starting conversations since 2018. To learn more, join us at gameoverthepodcast.com.